Welcome to SATV News. This is Nouri Alamin with the headlines. Indian envoy meets Prime Minister. Delhi keen to work together with Dhaka in positive, constructive manner, Pranay Verma tells Tariq Rahman. Voting for reserved women's seats in 13th Parliament on May 12. Detailed schedule to be announced on 8 April. Supreme Court lawyers 6 travel ban on Muhammad Yunus, ex-advisors over alleged measles vaccination policy shift. Now in details. Indian High Commissioner to Bangladesh Pranay Verma on Monday reaffirmed Indians' intent to work together with the government and the people of Bangladesh in a positive, constructive and forward-looking manner based on mutual interest and mutual benefits as well. The Indian envoy conveyed the intent when they paid a courtesy call on Prime Minister Tariq Rahman at his office today. They discussed bilateral ties, engagement with focus on people-centric cooperation in multiple domains aligned with the national development priority of the two countries, said the High Commission after the meeting. Press Secretary Saleh Shibli paid the issues related to strengthening relations between Bangladesh and India were discussed during the meeting. Foreign Minister Dr. Khalilur Rahman and Prime Minister's Foreign Affairs Advisor the Humayun Kabir were present at the meeting. The Indian High Commissioner also presented the Prime Minister with a book and a showpiece. The Election Commission on Monday announced that voting for the 50 reserved women's seat in Parliament will be held on May 12. The EC will announce the election schedule on April 8, said EC Senior Secretary Akhtar Ahmed at a media briefing at Nirbachan Bhavan with Chief Election Commissioner AMM Nasiruddin in the chair. Deadlines for submission, scrutiny and withdrawal of nomination paper will be specified in the schedule. He also said, according to existing law, reserved women's seats in Parliament are allocated in proportion to the number of general seats won by political parties. Member of elected to general seat cast a vote to elect MP to reserved seat. In the 13th parliamentary election, the Bangladesh Nationalist Party secured 209 seats. Its ally Gana Adhikar Parishad, Bangladesh Jatiyo Party BJP and Gana Shamti Andolon won the seat each. On the other hand, Jamaat Islami winning 68 seats represent his opposition. Its ally NCP won 6 seats. Bangladesh Khilafat Majlis 2 seats and Khilafat Majlis 1 seat. Outside the two alliances, Islami Andolon Bangladesh won 1 seat and 7 candidates were elected as independent as well. According to the law, the EC must hold election for the reserved women's seats within 90 days after the publication of the Gazette of elected member, which was issued on February 13 and the day after the general election. Letters have been sent to partial and alliance regarding the allocation of reserved seat. After finalizing the number of reserved seats by party and alliance, schedule will be announced soon. According to the preliminary allocation, the BNP-led alliance may get 36 seats, the Jamaat-led alliance 13, and the Independence Bloc 1 seat. Polling in Sherpur 3, Bogura 6 constituencies will be held on April 9. A law of the Supreme Court has served a legal notice to the government seeking a travel ban on Dr. Muhammad Yunus and all advisor to the interim government over their alleged involvement in what termed an unlawful and malicious initiative to transfer the measles vaccination system from state control to the private sector. The notice was sent today by Supreme Court. The barrister Mohammad Ashraful Islam in a press release regarding to the legal notice, the lawyer said, a severe outbreak of measles, a previously eliminated disease, has suddenly emerged across the country. Already more than 100 children have been died and the countless children and ordinary citizens have been hospitalized after being infected with measles. A demand has been raised to form the investigation committee into the alleged involvement in unlawful initiative of transferring vaccination system for a disease like measles from state for the private sector. The statement further said a legal notice has been served requesting the government to impose a travel ban on all advisors, including Dr. Mahmood Yunus, Dr. Asif Nazrul, Syed Rizwana Hassan, Adil Rahman Khan, Nur Jahan Begum, Brigadier General retired Shakat Hussain, Brigadier General Jahangir Alam Chaudhary, and Mustafa Sarwar Faruqi, as well as former press secretary of the chief advisor Shafiqul Alam and all relevant former personal assistants until the completion of this investigation. A list of 20 loan defaulters of the country was unveiled in Parliament today, 6 April, as part of the government effort to enhance transparency and address rising concern over a defaulted loan, which stood at 5,44,831.88 crore as of the end of the December 2025. Finance Minister Amir Khusru Mohammad Chaudhary placed the list as measured to recover the money in the House in a written answer given the response to a question from Kumila 4 MP Muhammad Abdul Hasnat, the National Citizen Party leader, commonly known as Hasnat Abdullah. 9 of the top 10 defaulting company belong to the controversial S. Alam Group. The Finance Minister also told Parliament that government has taken several steps to address the issue. This includes holding quarterly meeting with banks that have more than 10% classified loans to review recovery progress and identify obstacles. Progress in recovering loans from top defaulter is also reviewed. Regular banker meeting organized by Bangladesh Bank. Despite a steady increase in fuel supply in recent days, surpassing average daily consumption level for the past 2 fiscal years, the motorists across the country continue to endure long wait at filling stations. Industry insiders said the mismatch between rising demand and uneven distribution compounded by consumer behavior is at heart of the persistent cause now visible at fuel pumps nationwide. According to BCP data, on 2 April, diesel sales stood at 1,288 tons per day, about 1.52% higher than March-June 2025 average of 12,065 tons, indicating a steady demand in transport and agriculture. Octane sales also inches up 1,222 tons per day, a marginal 0.41% increase, suggesting sustaining pressure from private vehicle, particularly motorcycle. However, petrol sales dropped slightly, 1,411 tons per day, around 1.12% lower than the earlier average of 1,427 tons. BPC data shows that overall fuel consumption is rising, demand is unevenly distributed, contributing to relocalized shortages and operational stress at filling stations. A complaint has been filed with the prosecution of the International Crime Tribunal accusing ousted Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina and several others, including former Director General of Forces Intelligence (DGFI), Lieutenant General Sheikh Mamun Khaled, over an alleged enforced disappearance during the Awami League's tenure. Former Jubadol leader Mushir Rahman Mamun submitted the complaint of Chief Prosecutor Aminul Islam at the tribunal this noon. According to Mamun, he was picked up on February 23, 2015 while heading the Thailand from Dhaka airport. He also alleged the plainclothes, the policeman detained him and kept him blindfolded and handcuffed around 6 months. Mamun said the later handed over to Detective Branch on August 23 the same year. A few days later, he was produced before a court and placed on remand twice. He then spent nearly 2 years of Dhaka Central Jail before being released on bail granted by the High Court. Earlier, the International Crime Tribunal 2 asked the jail authority to produce Sheikh Mamun Khaled before the court on April 7. A Dhaka court today placed Imam Ullah Prakash, a local influential figure, at the 3-day remand in a case filed over the fire at a gas lighter manufacturing factory in Karaniganj, the Kadamtoli intersection that killed at least 6 people on Saturday. Dhaka Senior Judicial Magistrate Mohammad Tanbir Ahmed passed the order after police produced him before the court.
Hello and welcome to International Affairs, and my name is Shamsul Alam Panto.
I don't see an easy resolution to this because every slight deviation from the plan,
opening an open war conflict with them,
testing nuclear missiles,
Russia's announcement of these supposedly successful testing,
special and exclusive footage that is being played on SATV screen.
The haunting melody of Tumi Je Amar from Harano Shur still linger in the heart of generations, evoking at a time when Bengali cinema was defined by quest intensify emotional depth and timeless romance. At the center of golden era stood Suchitra Sen, the legendary actress whose grace, silence and expressive eyes made her one of the most enduring icons of South Asian cinema. Yet, her journey didn't begin in the world of glamour. It began in the modest surrounding of Pabna, where she was born in Romo Dasgupta, April 6, 1931, in a middle-class family. Her father was a school teacher and mother is a homemaker, and her early life was set far from the spotlight. She would one day command a modest beginning, a quiet transformation after the family moved to Calcutta. Her life gradually took a new turn. Married at a young age, she entered the film industry while little expectation of immediate success. Her early firm went largely unnoticed, but she continued to refine her craft with passions and discipline. Viewers, we are taking a short break. Stay with us.
Hello and welcome to International Affairs, and my name is Shamsul Alam Panto.
I don't see an easy resolution to this because every slight deviation from the plan,
opening an open war conflict with them,
testing nuclear missiles,
Russia's announcement of these supposedly successful testing,
Special and exclusive footage that is being played on SATV screen.
Really coming to terms with Hamas.
Damage estimated between this entire issue.
President Trump is expected to hold bilateral talks.
preserving biodiversity and tackling climate change.
We cannot protect the planet before we negotiate peace.
Where is it going? Is it understanding the need?
Welcome back, and you are watching SATV News. Now, news from abroad. Israel announced today that it had killed the intelligence chief of Iran's Revolutionary Guard as tension in the region continued to escalate. Defense Minister Israel Katz confirmed the development, stating the Israeli forces are targeting militant leadership in response to attack on civilians. He warned the Iran leadership is now under constant threat and vowed that Israel would continue pursuing them individually. Katz also claimed that Israeli operations have significantly weakened Iran's steel and their petrochemical sector, adding the further strike would aim to damage the country infrastructure, reduce its ability to support attack against Israel. Meanwhile, Israel and United States launched a series of coordinated strikes across Iran, resulting in more than 25 deaths. Iran rationalized the final missile towards Israel and several Gulf countries, highlighting fears of border the regional conflict.
شما یه مرتبه هنوز فضای مجازی به این صورت رخ نداده 16 میلیون اطلاعیه ریخته شد.
Iran launched fresh attack across the Middle East on Monday and threatened devastating relations after the US President Donald Trump expletive-laced warning that Tehran must reopen the Strait of Hormuz. Israel, Kuwait and United Arab Emirates reported a barrage of missile and drone strike early on Monday. The attack came up as Tehran ramped up the rhetoric against Trump, with Tehran's Central Military Command warning of much more devastating the retaliations for the advantage his civilian target. The warning came hours after Trump threatened to destroy Iran's civilian infrastructure, demanding Tehran about his demand for a deal to reopen the Gulf of shipping. Iran has effectively blocked the Strait of Hormuz, a vital energy, the choke point, provoking Trump to demand Sunday, open a fucking state, you crazy bastard, or you'll be living in hell. In a terse follow-up post, The president apparently set a new deadline in Iran to comply Tuesday, 8 p.m. as Christian maker Trump revived warning of airstrike on Indian power plant and breeze after celebrating the rescue of a wounded airman whose fighter jet went down inside Iran. Iran and United States have received a plan to end hostility that could come into effect on Monday and open the Strait of Hormuz, source about a proposal said on Monday. A framework to end hostility has been put together by Pakistan and exchanged with Iran in the US overnight, the source said, outlining the two-tier of approach with an immediate ceasefire followed by the comprehensive agreement. All elements need to be agreed today, the source said, adding the initial understanding would be structured as a memorandum of understanding finalized electionally through the Pakistan, the sole communication channel at the talk. Axios First reported on Sunday that United States, Iran and regional mediator were discussing a potential 45-day ceasefire as part of two-phase deal that could into the permanent end for the war. Citing US, Israel and regional sources told to Reuters, Pakistan's Army Chief Field Marshal Asim Munir has been contact all night long with US Vice President J.D. Vance, Special Envoy Steve Witkoff and Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araqi. Under the proposal, a ceasefire would take place immediately, reopening the Strait of Hormuz with 15 to 20 days to finalize the broader settlement. OPEC agreed on Sunday to raise its oil output quota by 206,000 barrels per day for May, a modest rise that will largely exist on paper as key members are unable to raise production due to US-Israel war in Iran. The war has effectively shut by Strait of Hormuz, the world's most important oil route, since the end of February, and cuts export from OPEC member Saudi Arabia, the UAE, Kuwait and Iraq, only country in the group which able to significantly raise production even before the conflict began. Crude price have surged a 4-year high close to $120 a barrel, translating into soaring price of transport fuel, which are pursuing consumer and business across the globe and triggering government action to conserve supplies. The OPEC Plus quota increased 206,000 BPD, represent less than 2% for the supply disrupted by Hormuz closure, but it signaled readiness to raise output once a waterway reopen. India's auto dealer on Monday warned of possible supply to dispatch disruption in the near term as the West Asia conflict drove up raw material cost, even as the fiscal year total sales hit a record high. The border operating environment is clouded by the conflict, the Federation of Automobile Dealer Association FADA said the settlement. The war has pushed up oil and gas prices, raising the fuel and logistic costs across the auto supply chain, while auto driving up prices of key metals such as aluminum, copper, steel used in vehicle manufacturing. Last week, India top car, the Maruti Suzuki said it will likely raise price as the pushed up commodity prices. A further survey showed that more than half of the dealer experienced some from supply of dispatch disruption linked to the ongoing conflict, with 17.1%. Apparently, customer purchases decision, it also added. Ukraine and Syria placed greater security cooperation in talks on Sunday. President Volodymyr Zelensky said as Kiev seeks to promote its military expertise across the region following the outbreak of US-Israel war in Iran. Zelensky, continuing his tour of Middle East country, met with Syrian counterpart M. al-Sara. The Damascus, we agreed to work together to provide more security and opportunity for development for our society. Zelensky wrote on Telegram in a later post. Zelensky said it had been wide-ranging discussion with Syrian leader and 3-day work together Turkish Foreign Minister Hasan Fidan. We managed to discuss everything from security and defense issues and the situation in the region due to all the event around Iran to energy and infrastructure cooperation between the countries, Zelensky wrote. In recent week, Zelensky has visited Middle East country, offering Ukrainian expertise in countering drone and missile attack developed during its 4-year war with Russia. Before ending, we'll go through the SATV News headlines again. India envoy meets Prime Minister Delhi, keen to work together with Dhaka in positive, constructive manner, Pranay Verma tells Tariq Rahman. Voting for reserved women seats of 13th Parliament on May 12, detailed schedule to be announced on 8 April. Supreme Court lawyer seeks travel ban on Mohammad Yunus, ex-advisor over alleged missile vaccination policy shift. You are up to date with the top stories so far here on SATV, and to know the latest news, visit www.satv.tv. Stay with SATV.